We're going to talk about the news. But first, if you were curious yesterday about my autistic rambling about my rifle scope, it has drop compensation to 600. Couldn't find my glasses, so I couldn't read it. It was 600 if you were curious. So we got a couple stories. We got a trans bicyclist calling a woman a fascist, or I'm sorry, calling a woman a Nazi. But he also called her a fascist. But yeah, nice people. Said something about we kill Nazis and to go suck a shotgun. So, nice person. I'm glad that these people had this interaction because that lady deserved to be called all those horrible, horrible names by some delusional guy that thinks he's a lady. That's definitely what she deserved. She definitely wasn't just, trying to make a point saying, men shouldn't be in these women's sports. That was all she was doing. All she was trying to do was say, hey, listen, I don't think men should be involved in women's sports. It's not fair. And this dude tells her, you're a Nazi. We kill Nazis. It's fair. Wonderful. Definitely more proof that the right is dangerous. Yes, of course, the right and their violent rhetoric. Yep, we're seeing it again. George Zinn, the man that took the fall for the assassination of Charlie Kirk, he's a pedophile. Who'd have thunk it? You can't go 10 feet without running into a Democrat that's a pedophile. Kyle Rittenhouse immediately got attacked by a pedophile. Like, it's just like Democrats and pedophiles just go hand in hand. I swear, it's disgusting. We got the FBI targeting Turning Point USA under Obama. And then, I forgot to pull that article up. We got, no, I didn't. I just had it backwards. I'm sorry. I'm new. I'm new here. Someone rammed their car into the FBI field office in Pittsburgh. The FBI was spying on Turning Point USA. And Pam Bondi's an idiot, which we'll probably start with that one because I love making fun of Pam Bondi. She is terrible. Pam Bondi is awful. Donald Trump, what were you thinking? This woman doesn't have a functioning brain. Her brain do not work. Her brain, it ain't right. It ain't wired up right. God forgot to solder a connection or something. I don't know, but she's a moron. She is an utter moron. I can't stand this woman. Now, I was never a big Bondi fan from the beginning. I thought that she made some pretty bad calls, especially regarding the Second Amendment. And I kind of was like, you know what? She's not a conservative. She's not someone we should be affiliating with. Not that we should be othering people that aren't conservative. Just that, we're trying to build something here. We need the best. We need the people that are on our side all the time, not people like her that are very wishy-washy. And she shows how wishy-washy she is. What is this? Republicans move to censure Ilhan Omar over Charlie Kirk assassination remarks. Republicans in the U.S. House led by Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina introduced a resolution September 16, 2025 to censure Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and remove her from the House Budget and Education and Workforce Committees. The action stems from Omar's post-assassination comments on September 10, 2025 at Utah Valley University, where she called conservative activist Charlie Kirk a stochastic terrorist and suggested his rhetoric contributed to his death. A floor debate is set for September 17th amid social media exchanges, including Mace's calls for Omar's deportation to Somalia and Omar's rebuttals regarding partisan tensions over political speech and accountability. I have a very simple solution to this. If you're not an American citizen, you cannot be a part of America's government. You're not from here. You don't get to tell us how to do things. think that's fairly simple. Sorry, Ilhan. I hope you do get deported because I think you are a terrible person. You are not America first. You are an evil, evil person, and you only care about Somalia. I didn't know we were getting into that today. But yeah, Ilhan Omar, terrible. Dislike, 2 out of 10. Send her home. I want nothing to do with that woman. She is awful. Now, speaking of dumb women, let's make fun of Pam Bondi. Let's make fun of her because she is definitely dumb and she is definitely a woman, so she fits the criteria. Welcome to what we'll call this segment Dumb Chicks. And we'll unmute that. We'll go ahead and rewind that. Oh, I should probably share the screen so you can see what I'm looking at, huh? All right, let's see what Dummy has to say.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech.
Wrong! Immediately. Wrong.
And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle. There's free speech. And
that is the antithesis of what Charlie Kirk stood for. This woman is so dumb. There is no such thing as hate speech. There is hateful speech. Hate speech does not exist. Hate speech is not a real thing, okay? I'm sorry if that bursts your bubble. If you want to be a leftist commie, I totally understand. But there's no such thing as hate speech. Hate speech isn't real. It's a made-up term by the left. Because here's the thing, right? We start saying, okay, this is hate speech, that is hate speech. And then the next thing you know, preachers are getting arrested for saying, no, a man can't marry a woman. The next thing you know, we're seeing normal people getting arrested for saying, hey, you're a dude. You're not a chick. You can't be in this bathroom. And then you see people getting arrested for saying, America is a Christian nation. Well, that gets turned into hate speech. And then the next thing you know, we're England. We don't have rights, and we're being taken over by... Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I put FIB in the title of this video. I'm an idiot. So if you don't play video games, the FBI in Grand Theft Auto 5 is called the FIB, which is funny because it spells fib and they lie all the time. It's a pun, you get it. I put that in the headline. Oh my God, I am so dumb. I'm taking a picture of that and I'm sending that to my brother because I'm an idiot. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I just caught that. I totally lost my train of thought when I saw that. Because on this screen over here on the right, I can see I can see the same as the left screen, but I see myself and I see the headline of the video. Can I edit that? Nope. Well, that's there forever. I'll fix it later. No, I won't. I'm going to forget. Anyway, when you go after free speech, it's a very slippery slope. And Tim Pool made the point of, calls to violence are not free speech. But if one person says, hey, you should kill a Nazi, and then another person says, hey, that person's a Nazi, it's not a direct call to action by either person, but it's clearly implied that they want you to hurt that person, that they want you to kill that person. So it becomes a very difficult gray area. I get these burp things, and it's like an inhale burp. It's frustrating. I don't know what it is. I think I have stomach issues. I should probably go to the doctor. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to the doctor. Anyway, let's jump to our next story, also on X, because this continues with the free speech thing. where the left will call you a Nazi for expressing your First Amendment rights. I don't think they know what these buzzwords mean. I think they just say them. Let's watch this. This is a minute and a half long nonsense video. I am sorry to subject you to the stupidity in this video.
Got a shotgun, motherfucker!
What's going on here?
Got a shotgun, motherfucker!
What's going on here?
We got some fucking fascists out here crashing the race, and they just stole their protest sign.
Get fucked, Nazi!
You stole what?
I can tell you these two women
So,
sign that said no.
the person that was
no
over here
cycling.
I don't have
is a
And I'm
trans
not a big fan of it. So
Yeah, we don't
woman
fuck
band.
with Nazi fascists.
Just immediately.
That's how we feel about Nazis.
Yeah, we don't fuck with fascists, so we steal people's property.
America. We kill
Dude, do
Nazis.
you know?
Right there, right there. This is America. We kill Nazis. That's exactly what Tim Pool was talking about. This person says, this is America, we kill Nazis. The other person says, you're a Nazi. Now, if some random lunatic was around for that, there's a high probability that this person recording might have ended up getting killed, might have ended up getting hurt. That is exactly what Tim Pool was talking about. And I wonder if there's not an argument for a RICO case in that. I don't think so. I don't think it would work, but I wonder if maybe RICO could be adapted to those situations.
Do you know that we were actually asked by women racing to come here? Women
in this
racing
race,
against you. Oh, yes, we were, hon. Yes, we were, mister.
Even if you were, we don't give a fuck because
Okay.
they're also sore losers.
Well, you know what? The women
steal
that
their
you think are
songs
your
too.
friends
Yeah.
are not your
So
friends.
great. Thanks for letting
Sounds
us
like
know
they
that there
should
are more of
get
you.
more skills.
Yes, and they're riding next to you,
They should get skills.
racing you, okay?
And they can't do shit, can they?
Unfortunately, today,
You ain't gonna get anywhere with Formula 6, motherfucker.
Really?
You got somewhere with Yusuf, but they were already fascists all along. So,
Okay.
like,
This dude, this delusional dude, keeps calling everybody fascist, and I don't think that Mr. Delulu here knows what fascism is.
all right.
so
Because in a true fascist government, this dude wouldn't be allowed to parade around as a chick. The government would say, no, you're going to go work in the coal mines. You're going to go dig a hole.
A woman who actually wants to race against other women is a fascist.
I'm gonna play some music. Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for
Bye.
having the man show up.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.
Go start a
Thank you.
shotgun.
Thank you.
Go start a shotgun.
Why should women have to race against men?
I think she's saying go suck start a shotgun. I don't think they're saying go suck a sawed-off shotgun. I think the closed captions are, because it sounds to me like go suck start a shotgun. I could be wrong though.
Why should women have to race against men? We don't want to engage with you.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
Why do you let men in the race? I don't want to engage with you because I don't respect you. Why? I'm not Nazi. Piece of shit. Sorry. I'm a Nazi. Piece of shit. Bye. Why should men have to race? Go Michelle!
That kills me that they have no argument other than because you're a Nazi. Like, you're a Nazi for protesting? You're a Nazi for holding up a sign? Do you know what Nazis would have done to trans people? Like, let's be honest. Let's be real here. Let's be historically accurate. If Nazis would have had trans people in Germany like we do today, there would be no trans people in Germany. They would have been eradicated by the Nazis. The Nazis didn't like the Jews because they wore silly little hats. Don't fact check that. The Nazis didn't like the Jews because of their religion, because of their opinions. You think that the Nazis would have supported dudes chopping off their dicks? No! That's not a strong Aryan nation. That's a fucking weak feminist libtard sissy. Like, I'm sorry, but no. Nobody supported that until, recent history. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about more fucking stupid people. Let's talk about George Zinn. This is the man who said that he killed Charlie Kirk. He did not kill Charlie Kirk, but I believe he admitted to buying time for the actual shooter to get away, which makes a lot of people think that there's a conspiracy here that the shooter did not work alone. I don't know. I've heard a lot of stuff. I've also heard a lot of people saying that the round exited through Charlie's throat. The round didn't exit through Charlie's throat. That was an entrance wound. That was an entrance wound. All day. That round didn't. No, Charlie wasn't shot from behind. I'm real tired of. And here's the thing that really frustrates me is this was people I respect. This came from. Shit, I'm blanking on his name. He fills in for Alex Jones on InfoWars. Owen Schroyer. This came from Owen Schroyer. And it's like, no, dude, no. Like, I know the whole shtick with InfoWars is question everything. I get it, I do. I've seen a lot of people get shot on the internet. The way Charlie's body reacts, the round hit him frontal. It was a frontal round. It didn't come from the back. If it came from the back, he would have slumped over. Watch JFK. When the round impacts JFK's head and his head whips back, I've seen enough people get shot to know how the human body reacts 99% of the time. Anyway, let's read. From Newsweek, man who allegedly faked Kirk killing confession gets child porn charge. You can't throw a fucking tennis ball into a room full of pedophiles, into a room full of Democrats and not have it hit a pedophile. I swear. If you had 10 Democrats in a room and you threw a tennis ball in there, overwhelmingly high chances that a pedophile is going to catch that tennis ball. I mean, it is insane. George Zinn, who allegedly fabricated a confession in the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, has been arrested on charges of obstruction of justice and possession of child sexual abuse material, Utah authorities said. Zinn, 71, was arrested at the scene of the September 10th shooting at Utah Valley University in Orem after shouting, "I shot him, now shoot me." He later told investigators he faked the confession to help the real suspect, later identified as Tyler Robinson, escape, according to a probable cause statement. Authorities said an investigation into Zinn led to the discovery of explicit materials on his phone, including more than 20 images of children between the ages of 5 and 12. Court records also cite graphic messages in which Zinn admitted to being aroused by the material. I have one thing to say and one thing to say only. Mr. Chippy don't care. Pedophiles are not people. I don't care if that gets me taken down, pedophiles aren't people. Pedophiles belong in prison for life. If you would dare hurt a child, you belong in prison for the rest of your life. You deserve to rot. Quite honestly, the only reason I say prison for the rest of your life is because I know you wouldn't even make it to Mr. Chippy. We know what they do to pedophiles in prisons. It's, I forgive you for stealing my stereo if you're in prison and you handle a pedophile. I forgive you if you're the guy that stole my stereo out of my Ranger all those years back and you're in prison now and you've handled a pedophile. Call it even. The radio was a small price to pay. I'll buy you another one. With every fiber of my being, I hate pedophiles. And I do believe that it is a justified hatred. There is nothing wrong with hating pedophiles. Anyone that would harm a child like that is not human. They are not a person. They do not deserve to be considered people. They are awful, they are repugnant, and I should watch what I say. they should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. That's what I'll say. Anyway, let's move to our next story before I get banned from YouTube. Because I'm really trying not to, but pedophilia is one of them topics that I don't care. From CBS News, suspect in custody, you idiot. Suspect in custody after allegedly ramming car into FBI Pittsburgh field office in targeted attack. Or, as I like to say, FIB field office, because I am mildly retarded. I apologize for the mental retardation. If you clicked on this video and didn't catch that, welcome. You're one of us. You're one of me. A suspect is in custody after being accused of committing a targeted attack by allegedly using his car to ram the entrance gate to the FBI's Pittsburgh field office. The FBI says Donald Henderson of Penn Hills, who they say used his car to ram the gate to the building around 2:40 a.m. on Wednesday, is in custody. FBI Pittsburgh special agent in charge, Christopher. Why you gotta have a name like that, Christopher? Giordano? Christopher, the Italian guy, said early Wednesday that after crashing into the gate, Henson grabbed an American flag from inside the vehicle and threw it over the gate. We look at this as an act of terror against the FBI. Christopher, wrong racial slur. I can use that one, but you can't. Christopher the Guido said. I'm used to mob movies where it's like, yo, Chrissy the Mitt, because I can say it because I'm Irish. You can't. Fuck. Racist. I'm also Italian, so I could call him Christopher the Guido. This was a targeted attack on this building. The FBI has since backed away from the incident, calling an act of terror. Oh, I'm sorry. The FBI has since backed away from calling the incident an act of terror. I'm dyslexic. No one was reported injured at the time of the crash, according to the FBI. The FBI says Henson left the area on foot after crashing into the gate. Video taken by someone who was working security at a nearby gas station showed Henson walking away from the scene. No details were provided on Wednesday on possible motive. Right now, he's wanted in connection with his crime against the FBI, Christopher the Guido said. It's a federal offense, and we will be seeking prosecution to the fullest extent. I'm going to be honest. Almost 3 o'clock in the morning, what are the odds that this guy was just fucking sloshed and just wrecked his car and then walked away? Like, what are the odds that he was drunk and he was like, yeah, fuck, I wrecked my car. And then he had a flag in the back seat for some reason. It was like, I'm out, and just started walking home. I mean, it's plausible. Another option could be this was an attempted suicide by cop. Maybe he was hoping that by ramming the gate, there would be a reaction that, he could suicide by cop. I don't necessarily think that this was a terror attack. I think there's more mundane and believable explanations for this. I don't think this was a terror attack. I don't think. I'm going to be honest. Like, sometimes it's like, yeah, okay, that was a blatant terror attack. I'm more inclined to believe that the dude had a few drinks and was like, I'm going to make a point, and crashed his car into the building and threw the flag and was like, yeah, you commies, and then went home. Like, that's probably it's the least fun, but it's the most realistic, let's be honest. I mean, I don't think that, I don't know. I mean, he might have been trying to make a point. He might have been just a little shitty drunk and wanted to get a little rowdy. Or he might have been looking for a death by cop situation. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, is until they find him, they don't know. Shut up! How dare you have an emergency while I'm making a show? People are so rude. Sirens screaming down the road while I'm trying to make the #1 show filmed in this establishment, okay? It's the #1 news show filmed within the walls of this house. And these guys have the audacity to have an emergency and drive down the road behind me? How dare you? How dare you, sir? Anyway, so while we're talking about the FBI, they can't figure out why Henson, did I call him Henderson? I might, if I called him Henderson, I meant to say Henson. They can't tell us why Henson wrecked into. Oh, wait. The car, the FBI says, Henson used appeared to have some sort of message on it, written on one of its side windows, which Christopher said investigators are still looking into, and brought into a bomb squad to clear the vehicle. The FBI says Henson visited the Pittsburgh office recently. In scouring our indexes, we did find that he visited the field office a couple of weeks ago to make a complaint that didn't make a whole lot of sense. We ran down everything that he came down with. It didn't have a federal nexus. We contacted him to let him know there wasn't a federal offense, that we were able to take charge. So maybe he was just grumpy and was like, "You guys didn't help me, so here's a car through your gate. That'll show you. Next time you'll help me." I'm really willing to bet this dude was drunk and just making bad decisions. Anyway, so let's because the FBI can't figure that out, but they can do what they're good at and spy on Americans. From the Economic Times, what is Arctic frost and what did it investigate? The plan to weaponize FBI to target Trump, investigate Charlie Kirk's TPUSA, and target entire Republican political apparatus. Yeah, no, they don't ever do anything unethical. The article reads, under Joe Biden, the 46th President of the United States, the Federal Bureau of Investigation launched an investigation named Arctic Frost to find out if there was multifaceted conspiracy to overturn the election results of the 2020 presidential election. No, there weren't. There you go. I just saved the taxpayers hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. The conspiracy being probed was about ensuring the then president, Donald Trump, could remain in office, even as the 2020 elections threw up Biden as the winner after a bitter contest. An explosive report released by Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley, the Senate Judiciary Committee, why do we give people so many titles? The Senate Judiciary Committee chairman on September 16, 2025, highlights additional records allegedly demonstrating political weaponization and misconduct at the FBI under Biden. This conspiracy involves subjects from the private sector in numerous battleground states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, New York. Oh, they put Michigan in there twice. What is this shit? Get it together, Economic Times. Sorry. Michigan twice, New Mexico, and Arizona, the Department of Justice and the White House report states. Opening the Judiciary Committee's annual FBI oversight hearing, Senator Grassley paid homage to Charlie Kirk, oh my God, I can't read today. Charlie Kirk, calling him a man of God, faith, family, and country. And Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska, I believe is how you say it, I'm trying to be respectful here, who was killed by DeCarlos Brown Jr. while the two were traveling on the LYNX Lynx Blue Line in Charlotte on August 22nd. FBI Director Kash Patel was present to list out the steps. That's not the important part. We're going to skip this quote. The report also reveals that Turning Point USA, the right-wing conservative organization co-founded by Charlie Kirk, was also investigated by FBI's Arctic Frost. Charlie Kirk, killed on September 10th, 2025, while addressing a crowd of almost 3,000 people at Utah Valley University, Orem, Utah, for a TPUSA event. The bullet that killed Kirk was allegedly fired from a bolt-action rifle by Tyler Robinson, who was arrested after a 33-hour manhunt. That was completely unnecessary to put in there because you already said that Charlie was killed, but, way to be redundant again. Arctic Frost is a joint investigation between the FBI, DOJ Office Inspector General, U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and National Archives Record Administration. The case was opened in April 2022, and Special Counsel Jack Smith was assigned to take charge in November 2022. Senator Grassley highlighted he made public records that whistleblowers provided me about Arctic Frost. Long story short, they're spying on us for no reason because we're the ones that are, murdering people for having conversations. Definitely not the left. I am so tired. We need to just dismantle the FBI, dismantle the ATF. We just need to, no more three-letter agencies. No FBI, no ATF, no IRS, no none of it. None of it. Just done with all of it. I am so done with these three-letter agencies that are so corrupt. I mean, they are the most insanely corrupt agencies I've ever seen in my life. And they just get away with murder. Sometimes literally. Looking at you, CIA. Yeah, and I know the truth. I know the fucking truth. You know who killed JFK? Man, that's gonna age really badly when I get fucking assassinated through my fucking through my car window because I said that. I don't know who killed JFK, but I'm pretty sure I know who killed JFK. You probably know. Who knows? That's all I got. I'm gonna go play Ready or Not. My gosh, I am getting phlegmy. Yeah, that's all I got for you, though. I'm gonna go play Ready or Not. Maybe I'll stream Ready or Not or something at some point in the next weekend or so. I don't know. If we get a cold weekend, I'll probably stream games more often, when it gets cold, because I don't want to do things. I'm kind of in the rush to finish everything that I haven't gotten done over the winter, or over the summer, I mean. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe come wintertime we'll get some streaming going. I don't know. That's all I got though as far as the news goes. I hope you enjoyed my spelling error because nobody checks me on my bullshit and I am an idiot, and for some reason I am allowed to put things on the internet without anybody checking that I didn't spell FBI wrong. It's 3 letters and I spelled it wrong. I hope you understand how much of an idiot I am. The person you listen to for news is a complete moron. But then again, so is anybody on MSNBC. So I mean, at least I'm handsome. I mean, I'm funny and I'm good looking. You've at least got that going. So suck on that, CNN. With that being said, I bid you all adieu. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, that's it. Have a